Chapter 35, Part 2. I decided to take matters into my own hands, an unfortunate but apt phrase. Up the hill from our house, on the same side of the street, lived two handsome brothers. They were easily the most eligible young men in the neighborhood. If I was going to venture into sex, I saw no reason why I shouldn't make my experiment with the best of the lot. I didn't really expect to capture either brother on a permanent basis, but I thought if I could hook up one temporarily, I might be able to work the relationship into something more lasting. I planned a chart for seduction with surprise as my opening ploy. One evening, as I walked up the hill suffering from youth's vague malaise, there was simply nothing to do. The brother I had chosen came walking directly into my trap. "Hello, Marguerite." He nearly passed me. I put the plan into action. "Hey," I plunged. "Would you like to have a sexual intercourse with me?" Things were going according to the chart. His mouth hung open like a garden gate. I had the advantage, so I pressed it. "Take me somewhere." His response lacked dignity, but in fairness to him, I admit that I had left him little chance to be suave. He asked, "You mean you're going to give me some trim?" I assured him that was exactly what I was about to give him. Even as the scene was being enacted, I realized the imbalance in his values. He thought I was giving him something, and the fact of the matter was that it was my intention to take something from him. His good looks and popularity had made him so inordinately conceited that they blinded him to that possibility. He went to a furnished room occupied by one of his friends who understood the situation immediately and got his coat and left us alone. The seductee quickly turned off the lights. I would have preferred them left on, but didn't want to appear more aggressive than I had already been. If that was possible, I was excited rather than nervous and hopeful instead of frightened. I had not considered how physical an act of seduction would be. I had anticipated long, soulful, tongued kisses and gentle caresses, but there was no romance in the knee, which forced my legs, nor in the rub of hairy skin on my chest. Unredeemed by shared tenderness, the time was spent in laborious gropings, pullings, yankings, and jerkings. Not one word was spoken. My partner showed that our experience had reached its climax by getting up abruptly, and my main concern was how to get home quickly. He may have sensed that he had been used, or his disinterest may have been an indication that I was less than gratifying. Neither possibility bothered me. Outside on the street, we left each other with little more than, "Okay, see you around." Thanks to Mr. Freeman 9 years before, I had no pain of entry to endure, and because of the absence of romantic involvement, neither of us felt much had happened. At home, I reviewed the failure and tried to evaluate my new position. I had had a man. I had been had. I not only didn't enjoy it, but my normalcy was still a question. What happened to the moonlight on the prairie feeling? Was there something so wrong with me that I couldn't share a sensation that made poets gush out rhyme after rhyme? That made Richard Arlen brave the Arctic wastes and Veronica Lake betray the entire free world? There seems to be no explanation for my private infirmity, but being a product is victim, a better word, of the Southern Negro upbringing. I decided that I would understand it all better by and by. I went to sleep. 3 weeks later, having thought very little of the strange and strangely empty night, I found myself pregnant.